Welcome back, folks, to the last few minutes of the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show here on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com. I wanted to end with just a market update for you guys, help you understand what's happening locally, regionally, nationally. And we've had some interesting movement over the course of the past few days, really past few weeks. But last week was the first time that interest rates broke 6% since November of 2008. A little earlier this week, they were at 6.3%. I'm getting messages now from lenders saying, hey, these are the types of conversations you need to be having with people, because what's happening is people are nervous, they're scared, they're trepidatious, they're all these different emotions, and they don't want to get burned. They do not want to catch a falling sword. They don't want to buy something and then find out that they can't refinance because values went down. Here's something really important for you to know before I get into this, and before I forget. Lenders will often say, hey, don't worry about the interest rate, do the best you can with it, and then if interest rates go down, we can always refinance you. And yes, that in and of itself is true if and only if you qualify. So you have to refinance with a percentage remaining in that home, meaning you have to have a certain amount of equity in order to qualify for a refinance. Something you need to be aware of and something you really need to ask your lender about. So if they say, hey, well, don't worry so much about the rate right now. Yes, it's higher than it was, but we can't go back in time. Lock in now, and then if rates go down, you can refinance. You need to ask them what that process would look like. Is there a cost to it? Up front, are they just rolling that cost into the loan? Ask some of those questions. Be inquisitive. But anyways, a little earlier this week, they were at 6.3%. So obviously lenders out there aren't doing any refinance business. I mean, that section of the business has completely plummeted. It's about 83% lower than it was this time last year. And now, only about 450,000 people can benefit from a refinance. That's, by the way, the lowest number on record. And summer of 22, I think, has just been a season of change for us. And I think for a lot of folks, they're saying it's about time. I tend to agree, not that I play favoritism, sellers versus buyers. I'm a student of the market. I study it daily. I provide insight. I've been doing it for a long time, and that is what helps position our clients for success. But because of the change that we've experienced, the housing affordability, which we talk a lot about on this program, is at a 33-year low. Existing home sales have just continued to soften nationwide. They're falling month over month. They're falling this year compared to last year. Pending home sales are down. New listings have kind of increased to the point where we have this grouping of unsold inventory that's changing the stats. We're at 3.3 months supply. We've been used to like a month. Again, still a seller's market, but the pullback in demand has been particularly hard on home builders. There's a lot of new home sales that have slowed down, and categorically we are behind in terms of homes available to be purchased. I mean, new construction, at the pace at which new construction homes have hit the market has lagged behind the average, behind what's needed for the past 10 years. So we still have a lot of room to go. If you look at our local stats, new listings were down 16%. Pending sales were down 16% last month. Inventory grew by 15%. Prices were 10% or almost 11% more than they were this time last year. Days on market, the amount of time it takes to sell a property, that went up 20%. Month supply of inventory went up 33%. We've been seeing month supply of inventory go down, 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 down for years and years and years. Now it's going the other direction, indicating, of course, that supply increased relative to demand. And that's part of the challenge that we have right now is there are a lot of buyers that are just nervous. They don't really understand the direction of the market. And I don't think they've had a conversation with somebody say, well, what's the alternative? Yes, we can just wait. We can just kick the can down the road. But what is the opportunity cost associated with that looking like? You know, if inflation, higher interest rates, fears of a potential recession, I mean, they've all taken a toll, frankly, on all of us, right? And we're all trying to figure out which direction this thing is going to head. And the more you research it, the more confused I think you become because of the varying degrees of opinion out there. Like the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors, Lawrence Yun, says that he thinks the worst of inflation is over and behind us, and that even though sales prices will remain up from this time last year, I mean, he expects price growth to basically all but stop, as the year progresses. And I think what really interesting about what's happening right now is that the music has stopped playing for this runaway seller-driven market where prices go up, 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 and up, and sellers' equity just gets larger and larger and larger. You know, our proverbial pockets have been filled for years with the appreciation real estate has seen. Now, things are starting to go the other way a little bit, and I think we're all just trying to figure out what's going to happen. No one really out there can tell you exactly what's going to happen, and if somebody guarantees or they promises or you read an article that seems like the market crash is inevitable or prices will go down 40% or whatever it might be, yeah, obviously you need to take that with a big grain of salt, because there's plenty of real estate related news just designed to grab your attention, to turn you into a lead so they can sell you something. I understand the irony in that statement, by the way, as somebody that has a radio show. So, you know, as this market continues to shift, I think one thing that's the norm now is offers with full contingencies, you know, due diligence periods, appraisals, financing contingencies. They basically have accompanied every offer for the past 90 days. And we've talked a lot on this program about being prepared to interview your agent, to align yourself with the right agent. And as somebody that, you know, owns several businesses, I understand the cost of making a bad hire. And the question is, once you hire your agent, what accountability measures are in place? If it gets to a point where you and your agent aren't having a productive relationship anymore, what's next? That's why we have an easy exit guarantee on our team. If at any point in time you feel like you've made the wrong hire or your situation changes, you can cancel your agreement. No cost, no obligation. But if you'd like to have a conversation with me about the real estate market, about what's changing, about how that affects you, let's start to put a plan together. My number is 843-800-0065. That's 843-800-0065. My website is listingsincharleston.com. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for listening to the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show on the Big Talker 1250 WTMA.